What's up? Welcome back to the Metalhead Car Show. Nowadays, a lot of people claim things like a 30-year-old Civic as old. And despite it has been around for a while, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that old. You've some car models that are now cracking that 100-year marker of being around. So today, we're going to look at the 5 oldest cars still in production. I've made a small exception for one car on the list, but we'll get into that later. But also, before we get into the video, I just want to say this channel is rapidly approaching that 1,000 subscriber mark. So if you enjoy what you see, stick around because we have a lot more content like this coming up. But for now, let's get right into the video. To start off with, going back to 1953 with the Chevy Corvette. Now, when the Chevy Corvette came out, it was America's first real sports car to compete with the Europeans. Packing the fiery punch of that blue flame straight six and a 2-speed transmission, the Corvette wasn't that much. But through the years, the Corvettes got progressively better and better and better until right now we have the greatest Corvette of all time. This is actually the only sports car in the list, and it's pretty fascinating that a company has managed to keep a sports car alive so long, especially when we have things like the 74 Corvette and the 84 Corvette, which frankly aren't that great. So push through times that made sports cars slow and completely gutless, and to prevail with cars that are progressively better and better than what was before the garbage cars is fascinating and so cool. Next up, and going back to 1951, the Toyota Land Cruiser. Now, the Land Cruiser came out in 1951, but was introduced to America in 1958. And it quickly became an absolute hit, being the best-selling car in America between 1961 and 1965. These things were known for durability and being incredible off-road, which is why that A, they now cost a fortune, and B, they never died out. The only time you can really find a Land Cruiser failing is it being on Top Gear with Richard Hammond, but that's a whole other story. And it's pretty wild to see that now some Land Cruisers are going for over $100,000, even for kind of newer ones, which is bananas. But I think with this legacy of this car, it's going to be around for a very long time. Go back a few years to 1948 with the Ford F-Series. Now, the Ford F-Series had multiple different generations and variants, some of them being the F100, some of them being the F150 being the most popular one, but also going all the way up to the F750. But the F-150 has been one of the best-selling trucks in America for multiple different years, and I'm pretty sure they're actually the first full-size pickup truck to go full EV in the North American market. Nothing's forever, but I see the F-Series being one of the last few things Ford does before they go into the grave. Next up, and here's the one I'm kind of making an exception for, but the RollsRoyce Phantom. Now, the RollsRoyce Phantom started in 1935, and it was Rolls-Royce's peak luxury vehicle pretty much forever. But the reason why I'm saying I make an exception for this car is the RollsRoyce Phantom actually died in 1990, but was brought back in 2004, I think, to be the super cool Phantom we all know today. So technically, the Ford F-Series has actually been in production for one more year than the Rolls-Royce Phantom, but due to it started in 1935, and I'm going to see it as more of a hiatus than a canceling of production, I'm going to say it's allowed on the list. Now, despite it's been around for that long, I think the Rolls-Royce Phantom has really made its more of a legacy in what they've done since 2005 and what they've done since 1935. This ultra luxurious, massive V12 Phantom with the suicide doors and the umbrellas that pop out of the doors and the retracting hood ornament. This thing has been such a cool car in the world of luxury cars. These things are generally so cool, and it could be debated whether it belongs here or not, but nonetheless, it needs to be talked about. And the winner at 99 years in production, the Chevy Suburban. Chevy Suburban started in 1925 and has always been this consistent in America of this option for a full-size SUV for the family. Loved by everyone, from that soccer mom with one kid to that guy who has 3 horses to SWAT teams and presidential transportation. This thing has done it all. So I'm going to keep the video short, but I want to know, what do you think? Is there any cars on the list that surprised you and you didn't know they were as old as they were? And do you think the Rolls-Royce Phantom deserves to be in here despite having a 15-year break? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed what you've seen. I post on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, and I'll see you later.